The morning sun cast long shadows across Yellowstone National Park as Dr. Marcus Williams stepped out of his rental car at the Mammoth Hot Springs trailhead. The distinguished 45-year-old professor of environmental science had driven 3 hours from the airport. Eager to begin his research on thermal ecosystems for the National Science Foundation (AS), he gathered his expensive research equipment from the trunk: geological sampling tools, pH meters, and thermal imaging cameras. 2 park rangers approached with stern expressions. "Sir, you need to move along," barked Ranger Johnson, his hand resting on his radio. "This area is for authorized personnel only." Dr. Williams looked up, confused. "I have permits for my research here." "Let me just, don't reach for anything," shouted Ranger Peterson, stepping closer. "We've had reports of suspicious activity and theft in this area." "Suspicious activity?" "I'm a scientist conducting authorized research," Dr. Williams replied calmly, slowly reaching into his jacket pocket for his permits. "Hands where we can see them," Johnson yelled, grabbing Dr. Williams' wrist roughly. "You're under arrest for trespassing and suspected theft of park equipment." Despite Dr. Williams' calm protests and explanations, the rangers handcuffed him and confiscated his equipment, dismissing his claims about being a researcher. "Yeah, right," Peterson scoffed. "And I'm the Secretary of the Interior." 20 minutes later, as they processed the arrest at the ranger station, Peterson's radio crackled to life. "All units, be advised. Dr. Marcus Williams from Stanford University should be arriving today for his thermal springs research project. He's the lead scientist on the $1 million NSF grant we're supporting. Please provide full assistance." Johnson's face went pale as he looked at the arrest paperwork. Peterson frantically grabbed the computer, typing in the name they'd just heard on the radio. The screen filled with information: Dr. Marcus Williams, Ph.D. in environmental science from MIT, professor at Stanford, lead researcher on thermal ecosystem preservation, recipient of the National Medal of Science, advisor to the Environmental Protection Agency, and author of 12 books on geological conservation. The photo on his faculty page matched perfectly with the man sitting handcuffed in their station. "Oh my God," Johnson whispered, his hands shaking as he reached for the keys to the handcuffs. Peterson's radio buzzed again. "Also be advised, Dr. Williams is expected by the park superintendent at 2 p.m. for a meeting about the new conservation initiative." Both rangers stood frozen, realizing the magnitude of their mistake. They had just arrested one of the nation's leading environmental scientists, a man whose research was funded by their own department and whose work would directly benefit the park they were sworn to protect. Dr. Williams looked up at them with a mixture of disappointment and exhaustion. "Now do you want to see my permits?" The aftermath was swift and decisive. Within hours, both rangers faced suspension pending investigation. The park issued a formal apology, and Dr. Williams' research proceeded with full support from park leadership, but the incident sparked a broader conversation about unconscious bias in federal agencies and the assumptions that can cloud judgment, even in places dedicated to preserving America's natural heritage for everyone. Dr. Williams later said in an interview, "I hope this incident serves as a learning opportunity. Science belongs to everyone, and our national parks should truly welcome all Americans who come to study and appreciate these incredible places." The research he conducted that week would eventually lead to new thermal preservation techniques that helped protect Yellowstone's unique ecosystem for future generations, work that might never have happened if prejudice had prevailed over truth.